Hey, what's up, guys? It's Catalyst47 here, back with another video. So, guys, for today's video, guys, it's gonna follow up on the Dragon Link video that I made before. I showed you guys the deck profile, the combo video, and then now I want to show you guys like some test hands, just so y'all can see how consistent the deck is. And yeah, I mean, I've actually been able to put out a good amount of videos right now, which I think is good. Though, again, I'm running out of ideas right now. Since I only have 2 decks, I do want to try and get like some kind of match in, maybe like me and a friend or something. Record a match using our decks, or maybe profile one of my friend's decks as well, because his decks are different than mine. So that could be an idea, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I guess without wasting any more time, let's just get right into the test hand video. Alright guys, so let's just get right into the test hand video. So I just want to show you guys, I'm shuffling the deck right here. Sorry if the lighting's a little weird. I mean, the sun is kind of going down and the sun is kind of shining behind, and I don't have like one of those crazy like light setups or anything. I just have my camera, my camera and my microphone. That's really all I got. So I gotta work with what I got, guys. So, showing the shuffle. All right, let's cut this real quick. The extra deck over here. So let's see what test hand number 1 looks like. Magna Rocket, a white, an Ash, a Quick Launch, and a Tracer. I mean, not a bad hand, to be honest. We have a hand trap if we were going to go second. And well, we have plenty of starters. It's not the greatest hand, but it's not that bad either. If this had been Collapse Serpent, this would have been significantly worse. But we want to try to save our normal summon, especially if like our opponent has interruption or something. But this first hand won't be with any interruption. I'm just gonna but probably one of the test hands I will do, like assuming there's some kind of interruption in the deck or on my opponent's hand. So, we got the Quick Launch. You always, if you can, like, I guess, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. You could save the Quick Launch, or you can just normal summon and then save, or you can Quick Launch and save your normal summon. But, I mean, you would Quick Launch, you would go into your Striker Dragon, activate effect to search your Boot Sector launch. I'm not going to shuffle too much because we're going to keep going through our deck. Then we have the white in hand, luckily. If we didn't have white, then we would just use the Boot Sector with the rockets we have here. But we have white, so we would banish the Tracer, special summon white, link into... We don't need to go into Romulus here because we already have Tracer. We have another Tracer, so seal, and then we would get white effect to search for black, skimming through, and we got black here. After this, we can banish our white. I'm gonna put the banish. I'm putting them down here, all the way down here. You probably can't see them, but then you special out your black. Now here, you can commit your normal summon if you want, or you can just use the Boot Sector. I guess in this case, I'll commit the normal summon. We would link this off into our LP, link this off into our Striker Dragon, and then we would activate our LP effect to bring out our black metal. And then we would actually, we have the options. I mean, because we haven't used Boot Sector, so it's not that bad. So we could use our Striker Dragon, pop it, get back our Tracer to our hand, and then we can just link off the black metal into our Pisty, and then we would get black metal effect to search for our red MD. Search for red MD. Now here we can actually banish our Pisty to summon our red MD. And then we can use Pisty's effect to bring the Tracer that was banished. And then we can just use our Red Ice Darkness Metal. We could just bring back our black metal dragon. And then here, I mean, we haven't used boot yet, so actually, we could just use. Well, I guess okay. We could have, if we were thinking ahead, we would have summoned to this zone, I guess, over here. And then we can use the Pisty and the black metal to go into the Delindrus dragon. And then we could use then we could activate our boot sector launch if we really wanted to, and special summon, we could summon one or we could summon both rockets, doesn't really matter. Cause here we can just, I mean, if we want to extend for days, but we don't have to summon the second one. If we want to if we want to keep the tracer in hand, then we could just summon one, and then we would link these two off into our Bardiche. Yeah, no use in overextending if you don't have to. And then Bardiche effect, we would send the Silent Boots to the graveyard to set a Fogblade, and then we could banish the boots from our grave to add the other Fogblade. You just want to get rid of that, that way you don't ever draw the cards. So if you can get rid of it, you don't want to risk drawing these cards. So we have Ash, Tracer, and Fogblade in hand. Now what we could do here, we never used Tracer's effect, so we can use Tracer's effect now to pop the boot sector. Which would we would bring out Recharge, or Silver. Normally you would want to bring out Recharger if you didn't start with Silver, but if you want to have the little loop thing that we can do, it's just better to do that. And then here we can just link these two off into our Quad Whirl. Then we can use Quad Whirl's effect. I mean, theoretically, we could use pitch the Fogblade if we don't want to pitch the Tracer. But it's really up to personal preference. Maybe you want to see if you know what deck you're facing or whatever. But I would just probably pick the Tracer or pitch the Tracer to pop the Bardiche. Could summon up to 3 with different names, but we only have we only have 2, but it's fine. That's really all you need. Because then, if you actually had 3, then you wouldn't be able to trigger. Now we could trigger Delindrus effect, special summon itself. Yeah, and then we have the full board. So then we can just link these 2 off. This get banished. This gets linked over here into our Abomination. And then we can just synchro the Tracer and the Magna Rocket for our Savage. And Savage would equip the Bardiche. And if we wanted to, we could set this as well at the end of our turn. And so we only have 1 card in hand, which kind of sucks a little bit. But we were able to get the full board even though we didn't open the Rocket with Absorouter. So as you can see, there's more ways to bring out that board that I had for you guys in the combo video. So in this board, you have your Seal Bounds, you have a Savage with 3 negates, you have your Abomination, with the Silver Rocket, you'll banish a card on the end phase, you'll pop it on the end phase, and then Silver's effect will trigger to banish a card from your opponent's extra deck. Then you'll summon Tracer, and then on your opponent's turn, you can pop the Tracer with its own effect, bring out another Silver, the other Silver in your deck, and yeah, then you can just use a Abomination to pop the Silver, and then you'll banish another card from your opponent's extra deck. So, and then you have an Ash, and you have, like I said, the 2 Fogblades. So, that's how many interruptions is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you banish 2 cards from your opponent's extra deck, 5, 6 basically. So, not bad, not bad. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to, while I'm quickly shuffling, I forgot to mention real quick that I did take out the Called by the Grave. I just wanted to find a way to really try to make the deck 40 cards. But 41 was the best I could do. So I took out the Called by. So this actually list right now is just the same as the last list. It's just no Called by the Grave. So now we shuffle a bit. Get the good shuffle going. Alright, let's do test hand number 2. So we got Ash, Seyfert, Silver, Black Collapse Serpent, and another Ash Blossom. Well, with this hand, it would be a little hard to play through Interruption. And I don't want to like spend too much time. Basically, if I opened up this hand, I would just go for the combo, like the original combo that I have in the combo video. If you can go back to my previous video for the combo, just the Seyfert combo is literally just 1.5 cards. So you would just use Seyfert, and then you would just use 1 card to like pitch. It kind of sucks that you already drew the Collapse Serpent, but you can just use this, tribute itself, search for white, and then you have black already, so you can just start the combo from there. So it's still the same thing. It just kind of sucks that you have to use another card because you already drew it. But I would just go with that combo. This hand is not really that good for playing through Interruption because we don't really have too many extenders. But yeah, that's test hand number 2. Like I said, I would just use the Seyfert combo. So if you want to refer back to my previous Dragon Link video, I go over that combo real quick. So I want to try and get more test hands in and not waste, I don't want the video to be too long and waste too much time just going through the combo. Like the last hand, what I liked about it is that it wasn't like your typical, it wasn't one of the 2 combos that I showed in the other video. So test hand number 3, got Levianeer, Ravine, that kind of sucks, Silver Rocket, Boot Sector, and white. I mean, I guess this hand is different, so I guess you could try to play with this one. Play it out real quick. So I mean, with this hand, I'd probably just normal summon the Silver Rocket, link off into Striker Dragon. Luckily, we played 2 Boot Sectors, so that's pretty nice. Again, this hand probably not gonna do Interruption stuff because, I mean, it's okay, but I don't know if we could play through. I mean, maybe an Ash, but nothing like too crazy. Anyways, so we got Boot. Okay, so then I would just banish the Silver, special out the white, and then we would just go into our Seal. And Seal helps us play around Nibiru, and we already have the Ravine, that's why. So then that searches, white searches out black. We got black there. Then we would banish black, special out white. Or sorry, banish white, special out black. I would probably activate the Ravine here, just because we need the Tracer, so we would send the other Boot Sector we have to send Absarouter. Absarouter adds as Boot. And then we could get rid of Ravine, special out this, and then activate Boot, special out Tracer. And then we could just link off into our Pisty. We could use, because we want more rockets to be able to use, like, to be able to basically get, like, some good, we want to be able to go into a level 8 Synchro. So here I would probably just use the Boot, or sorry, the Tracer to pop the Boot. And we would go for Silver Rocket, because Silver Rocket is the one that will be, it just gives so much information, like being able to look at your opponent's extra deck, see what they're playing, banishing important cards that could out your board. So, and we could link off this into the Striker Dragon, and then we could use Pisty we would bring out. We always go for black metal here, just because add us more cards to hand. Now, if you want to try and we could play around with it actually a little bit. So we could just use these two to go into our deal. And then we would get our black metal effect. Let's see what happens if we do this. I actually don't really know what happened. We would banish the Striker Dragon, so we could summon the Red MD. Then Red MD would special summon the Tracer. Now we could use the Red MD and the Delindris to go into our Bardiche. Then we could use Bardiche effect again. Luckily, I mean, I'll admit we got a little lucky that we didn't draw. I mean, I'll see if I get a hand where I actually draw some of the Phantom Knight stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you draw the Fogblade, it's not that bad, but drawing the boots does suck. So, you know, we send the boots to set the Fogblade, banish the boots to add the other Fogblade to hand. And in this case, we might, if we want to keep the Levianeer, we might actually have to use the Fogblade in this hand to discard. Because here now we can just use the Tracer to go. We never went into Pisty, so we go into Pisty. Pisty effect would bring back, I mean, we'll just bring back a rocket, doesn't really matter. Then use these two to go into your Quad Boral. And then you would discard use the one discard to pop the Bardiche, which would special summon up to 3 rockets with different names. Actually, we should have, okay. Instead of bringing this back with Pisty, which was in the grave, we should have just brought back the Silver Rocket. So, because right here, the Silver Rocket would be, it would give us the 2 names we would need in the graveyard. So, we'll have 2 names now. So, yeah, like I said, instead of bringing back the Rocket Tracer with the Pisty, just bring back the Silver Rocket that we used at the beginning of the turn. And then, like I said, you pop the Bardiche. We only get 2 summons because we only have 2 different names in the graveyard. Yeah, Delindris was in the grave, so we could still do it. We would bring out Delindris. And then we would actually go into our we're going to our Savage now, which would equip the Bardiche. And then we would just use the Dill and the Quad Boral, just get it banished, grave, to go into our Abomination. And if we, like I said, if we really want to, I guess, hurt our opponent, like really set them back, we would banish the 3 darks, so we'd probably just do like 1 Striker Dragon. You could just do the Guard Dragons, really. Or we could do like the Black Collapse Serpent and the Absorouter. So we could banish 3 darks to special out our Levianeer. We have no cards in hand, which kind of sucks a little bit, but we rip a card out of our opponent's hand. We have 3 negates on Savage. We have a Fogblade set. We have Seal Interruption, and we get to, on the end phase, we get to pop the Silver Rocket to look. We only get to look at 1 because the other one's already in the graveyard. But that's not even that bad because, if anything, so we still have the Magna Rockets. Okay, so we would pop this on the end phase, see our opponent's extra deck and banish a card, special summon the Tracer. Then on opponent's turn, what we could do as well is, let's see. Yeah, we can, if our opponent, we could wait for our opponent to summon something. Maybe like they bring out Dragoon, then we could activate Tracer to pop itself, which would special out the Magna Rocket. That would trigger Abomination. And then we can pop the Magna Rocket. And Magna Rocket, it sends to the grave. It doesn't target, and it's a send. That means it can out Dragoon. So, pretty good stuff. So there's still a lot you can do with the deck. And like I said, you have 3 negates, interruption, and then you have the Fogblade set. So, and these are pretty big monsters besides Seal, but the rest are pretty big monsters. So yeah, that's I guess test hand number 3. And I guess I'll try to do one more, and we'll see if the hand is good enough to like play through some kind of. Let's see what we can do with playing through some form of interruption, like an Ash or like a Ghost Belt or something like that. All right, so we get some shuffling going. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I mean, something we would need for our hand to be like pretty good to, especially to play through interruption, is like. We haven't drawn a single Chaos Space in these 3 hands. Like, no Chaos Space, no World Legacy Guard Dragon, no, so these are like the good extenders. We haven't drawn any of them. I guess we'll see if this is the, or a Knock Division too, that would have helped too. Alright, so now shuffling. Black Metal, Seyfert, Chaos Space. Okay. So in this hand we actually drew one of the traps, or like the Phantom Knight stuff. Normally I probably would summon Seyfert and go from there, but the thing is, if Seyfert gets Ash in this case, like we have no more normal summon. But it doesn't matter, actually. I mean, well, I guess if we're being realistic, like our opponents wouldn't really Ash. I feel like they wouldn't Ash the Seyfert. Like, if we have to be realistic. So let's say like I mean, maybe Chaos Space they could Ash it. I mean, I just feel like Chaos Space is so good, but I mean, we would send the Seyfert, activate Chaos Space. Alright, I mean, I don't really know where people would Ash in this deck now. A good place, maybe where LP or maybe Romulus, but we'll just go with it. So, we search our black, because we sent Seyfert, and then we would banish the Seyfert to bring out black. Link into Striker Dragon, Chainlink 1 and 2. Add Boot Sector. We would add a white. Okay, this time I am gonna have to shuffle the deck pretty well because we are gonna use Chaos Space, so we banish the black, bring out white, activate Chaos Space. Put to the bottom of the deck. I mean, we'll see what we draw. We draw an Absolrouter, which is, I guess it's fine. But theoretically, I guess this card shouldn't really matter. But now we would use these 2 to go into our Romulus. And then we could do Chainlink 1 and 2. We add the black back. And we add our Ravine. So we add our Ravine, and then we would just go from there. Activate Ravine. We don't need the black anymore, since we can't summon it anymore. We would say if we didn't have Abs in our hand, we would just send the Absolrouter, add Tracer to hand, and we would activate Boot, special out the Tracer. Then we could pop the boot. Or if we can avoid it, we want to save it, but I guess it's fine. We would pop the boot, special out our Silver Rocket. If you already have Silver out, then you would definitely want to bring out Recharger for like follow-up play. And then we would just go into our LP and our Striker Dragon. Now, I mean, people say, I think Romulus is not the right place anymore to really stop Dragon Link yet. But, I mean, LP could be a good time to try to interrupt. So we could set it then negated the LP to bring out a monster from deck. I mean, in this case, in our hand, it sucks for them because we already have the black metal. But normally LP is a pretty good time because they already used their LP. And if they don't, for some reason, have the card in their hand, like we already had the Brotar and the black metal, so we got kind of lucky in that sense. But if not, then they would have to find other ways to continue. But with them, we just normal summon since we never did. I could have popped this and then add the Tracer back to hand that was in the graveyard. And then I can link this off into our Pisty. Yeah, that's probably better. And then we would search for our Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Now we would banish the Pisty, special out the Red Eyes Darkness Metal. And then Red Eyes Darkness Metal will special summon our Silver Rocket, while our Guard Dragon Pisty will summon out our Seyfert. And then we can use the, again, mind your zones. You always want to leave like one of these open. So we have the Tracer in hand, and then we can do something pretty crazy here. So, I mean, I showed this in the combo video. So we can use the Pisty and the Red Eyes Darkness Metal to go into Delindrus. And that triggers Romulus' second effect to special summon a dragon from your hand here. And as you can see, its effects are negated and it can't be used for link material, but that doesn't matter. So we would use the Dill and the Romulus to go into our Unchained Abomination. And then we would use the Tracer and the Seyfert to go into our Savage. And then that would we would equip the Romulus that's in the graveyard to the Savage. And then, I mean, this would be an Absorauter, but we can just count that as a random card. And then we have the Fogblade that we drew. So we still have 2 cards in hand. If they were hand traps, that'd be something that'd be nice, but they're not. So we have our Abomination, we have our Savage with 2 negates. We have the Silver Rocket, which will be used to pop on the end phase to, to look at our opponent's extra deck, and then we can use the second one on their turn. So banish 2 cards from your opponent's extra deck, and then we have a Fogblade. So, I mean, that's not that bad in my opinion. Like I said, we drew one of the, you don't want to draw the Phantom Knight stuff, but if you draw the blades, the Fog Blades, it's actually not that bad. But yeah, guys, I think, and that was, this board came through an interruption on the LP. So LP never got its effect, so there you go. So the deck can definitely play through one interruption pretty easily, but I'll probably do another video later on showing like maybe we would require more specific hands, but I would do another video later on showing how the deck plays through, maybe like with certain hands, how the deck plays through like a higher impact hand trap like Gamma or like Nibiru. But I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment if you did. Like and subscribe, please. It would really be appreciated. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out, guys.